We now want to have a look at our practice assessment, and just before we get started on the practice assessment itself, I just want to look at the actual standard and what do we need to do to get our 4 credits. So to get these 4 credits towards our numeracy, you need to get achieved. That means you need to have 3 skills that you show me. And so the skills that we've covered are percentage of, fraction of, decimal of, and GST. So from those 4 skills, you need to be able to do 3 of those in this practice assessment to be able to get to the achieve level, and that gets you your 4 credits that we're aiming for. And also when you do those calculations, so each of those calculations needs a label, the working, the answer, and a sentence explaining what the answer is, so communicating your solution. Okay? So let's have a look. Now the practice example that I'm going to do is slightly different to the one in your workbook. So the numbers and stuff are different, so that you've still got the one in your workbook to complete by yourself. So let's have a look. We are told Mary earns $655 per week, Susan earns $1,354 per week, and Julia earns $760 per week. They all put their savings into a bank account, and Julia saves 18% of her income, Mary saves 2/7 of her income, and Susan saves only 0.15 of her income. So we're going to look at this and try and find some of this key information. Okay, so I'm going to start with Mary. So now I want to look for all the times that we refer to Mary and any numbers that belong with Mary. So I know Mary earns $655 per week. That's one piece of information about Mary. Another piece of information is that Mary saves 2/7 of her income. So those are the pieces that I just want to use for now. So I'm going to focus that separately now. So there's the 2 bits of information. Mary earns $655 per week and saves 2/7 of her income. So I've got my label here, Mary saves equals, so that's telling me what it is that I'm calculating. And we're going to find 2/7 of, now her income is $655. So now I need to turn that word of into times. So we're going to say 2 over 7, so 2/7 times 655. Plug that into our calculator, and we need to round our answers to 2 decimal places. And the reason for that is because when we deal with money, if you think about all the receipts that you get when you go and buy stuff, it always lists money to 2 decimal places. Because that's our dollars and our cents, so always 2DP for money. The last thing I need is a sentence explaining what I've just found. So there we go. Mary's going to save $187.14 each week. There is the first of the 3 skills I need to get to achieved. I've just done a fraction of problem. Let's go back again. So we've dealt with Mary. Let's see who's next. Well, Susan's next, so let's find some information about Susan. We know that she earns $1,354 a week, and we're told that she saves 0.15 of her income. So there's a decimal of. So it's the next calculation we need to do. So Susan earns $1,354. She saves 0.15 of her income. So Susan is going to save 0.15 of the 1,354. So we've got our 0.15, we change the of into a times, and then we put this into a calculator, and we get an answer of $203.10. So lastly, I just need a sentence. Susan will save $203.10 each week. So that's our second skill. So we've just done 2 skills now. Let's go back to our problem and find the next person. So our third person is Julia, and she earns $760 a week. We also get told that she saves 18% of her income. So we've got a percentage of calculation here to do. So she earns $760, she saves 18% of her income, so Julia is going to save 18% of $760. So the 18%, I need to turn that from a percentage into a fraction. So there's our 18 divided by 100. Because remember, percent means divided by 100. Of means times, so we're going to multiply that by 760, and that gives me $136.80. So now just a sentence. Julia will save $136.80 each week. So that's my third calculation, and if you get these first three calculations all correct, there's your achieved. There's your 4 credits. Okay. We're just also going to go on and have a look for some GST calculations so that we've got a fourth calculation just in case we make a mistake with one of these first three. So we get told this piece of information here, that the cost of the return air tickets for each person is $450 plus GST. So I need my label, plane tickets equals. The key number there is that's going to be 450, and we're told we're going to add the GST to that. So that means I'm going to do adding GST to 450, so I'm going to take my 850 and multiply that by 1.15. If we had to remove GST, we'd be dividing, but adding GST means we are multiplying. Type that into our calculator and we get an answer of $517.50. So then a sentence, the plane ticket will cost $517.50 each. So there are 4 skills for a practice assessment, of which you need to be able to do 3 of those to get to your achieve level. So now it's your turn to go into the practice assessment that's in your workbook, complete that, and get the answers checked by a teacher.